Welcome to the Playmakers Podcast.
Covering everything from youth sports to national sports in and around upstate New York. Let's go!
Welcome to the Playmakers Podcast. I'm your host, Mo Jackson, alongside Derek Dyer, of course. And this week, our interviews are we got two coaches from the McQuaid coaching staff, along with a student athlete.
And we have our Playmaker of the Week for Week 1 and Week 2, Freddie June Jr.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we got your Jackson 5 Playmakers of the Week. And Derek, this week, man, we got a lot going on, man, this week.
A lot going on. And we had some news in national football, right?
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
So Earl Thomas, the historical finger that he gave to the sideline.
Exactly. To his own sideline.
To his own sideline.
Right.
Directly to, I think, the coaches.
The coaches, the GMs, everybody he's talking to. But what happened was Earl Thomas has been holding out, of course, for more money. He wanted a long-term contract. And he's worth it. He's worth every dime he was asking for. Every dime, of course. But they didn't. They were stalling him, of course, doing the business part of it. And he went out. He reported to the team, which he shouldn't have. I don't think he shouldn't have. He should have. But he reported to the team and played and broke his leg.
Right. The same leg he broke.
Same leg he broke before. So, he's looking for a long-term contract to hold his family down for the rest of his life, which he deserves. He put all the work in. But now he won't be able to get that because he broke his leg. So no team's going to give him the money that he was worth before he broke his leg. Right. That's the sad part about it. But it's been an ongoing debate, mainly from people on the outside. When a player holds out, they don't really know what's going on.
A lot of people don't understand. Right. They don't understand, right? This is not basketball. Right. Basketball, you sign that 155, you getting all that.
You're getting everything.
Right? Football, only thing that's guaranteed is that signing bonus.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
I seen a stat about Earl Thomas that he was the #1 defensive player in the NFL before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Ranked.
Yeah.
So he exceeded his contract.
Right.
And
what he was asking for.
Right.
He exceeded that.
And he wasn't even asking for nothing crazy. He was asking for his market value. Exactly what he deserves. Yeah. So now we have that, and we see him break his leg and him going through this the turmoil of now trying to find a contract. He's 30 years old.
Right.
He's got to get healthy, and then hopefully a team pick it up. Then we see the other side, right?
Yeah.
We see Le'Veon Bell. Right?
Doing it the right way.
Right.
So Le'Veon, same situation. He's holding out for more money.
Right.
But he didn't report to camp yet.
And he's not
going to come until week 7.
Right.
So he's coming week 7.
Right.
He's not going to play until week 11.
Right.
Hopefully they'll have some. But his main thing is he's going out there just to show teams that he's in football shape.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's not sitting out eating pretzels all day. Right? He's in shape.
Right.
Earl Thomas should have done the same thing in my opinion. Should have did the same thing. They say the smart thing to do for Earl Thomas to have done was to report, show that he's in shape, but not play.
Right.
Say he's injured or whatever the case may be, but just not get on the field because it's dangerous. Any play could be your last.
Right.
And people don't understand that the money that these guys are fighting for, it ain't them being greedy.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Like you put your body and yourself and your life on hold a lot to train to be an NFL football player. You deserve to be compensated accordingly.
And the way concussions are going nowadays,
Exactly.
You definitely deserve to be fully compensated for whatever you do on the field.
So just put it in this kind of perspective. He's looking for a lump sum of money, but he's 30 years old, right?
Right.
The money that he receives, he needs it to last him until he's 80 or for a lifetime.
And be able to pass it down to his kids. Right.
So you can't really be mad at a guy for wanting to make his life, like it should be, for himself, for the rest of his life, and then his kids. And take it a step further, the offensive lineman, right? People don't even look at it this way. When you're an offensive lineman in the NFL, you are paid to stay unhealthy.
Yes.
You are paid to stay big.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not healthy. Right. You are paid to eat a lot and stay big so people can't run through you.
Right.
That's not, you're paying to stay unhealthy. So those guys they deserve to be paid like they're getting paid.
Right.
And they deserve every dime of it.
Right.
So I'm behind anybody that deserves to hold out or that is valuable enough to hold out.
Absolutely.
And getting their money.
And I mean, we look at the perfect situations, right? Like Khalil Mack. Yeah, Khalil Mack held out and told Oakland, "Hey, I'm not coming. I'm not coming till we restructure my contract." He was still on his rookie deal. Come on, he's a defensive MVP.
Worth 10 times, 20, 30 times.
And John Gruden felt that he shouldn't be paid. You trade him to the Bears, and what the Bears do? Sign him. Now he's the highest NFL defensive player ever.
That money, and he's
living up to it every single week.
Every week.
So come on, man. He far exceeded his rookie contract.
Absolutely.
And now I think John is kind of kicking himself a little bit, saying, "Dang, we needed that."
And he just got his first win.
Right. Yeah.
Khalil Mack won the Bears' first game by itself. Right. So it all works out. But those guys deserve their money, man. If you don't, read up on it. If you don't know, why these guys hold out, do your research and see what they're holding out for. Right. And these owners are billionaires. They're making billions of dollars off these guys' sweat, so they deserve to be paid. But that's a topic that people should read up on. If you're gonna speak about it, know a little bit about it. And these guys deserve their money. So.
And to Earl Thomas, man, we wish you a speedy recovery.
Absolutely.
Definitely love the way you play. You definitely deserve all the money that you're asking for. Hopefully you get a speedy recovery and the team actually picks you up and gives you the money that you deserve.
Definitely. We're looking for you to come back, man.
Absolutely. So we'll get right back to the Playmakers podcast.
Hold on. First, we gotta shout out our sponsor.
Right, yeah.
Yep, we gotta shout out our sponsor. Custo Print. 1685 Dewey Avenue. Go see my man Cornell for all your apparel needs. He does all the MJ School gear, all the Playmaker podcast gear. Shout out to Cornell over there. He does great work for me, man. Absolutely. Speedy turnaround on all my my gear that I need for my guys and for the Playmakers podcast. So 1685 Dewey Avenue, Custo Print.
Thank you very much. And we'll be right back with our interviews for the rest of the podcast. Thank you. We're working.
Welcome to the Playmakers Podcast. I'm your host, Mo Jackson, of course. We are in week 6, episode number 6. We're moving along. Today, we have our McQuaid Josette High School offensive coordinator, my boy Andre Fontenette, fellow CUSE alum. Yes, sir. We got Ben Beauchamp, wide receiver over at McQuaid. We got Cordero Jackson, defensive secondary coach at McQuaid as well. Thanks for coming out, fellas. Appreciate you stopping through. We're going to jump right into this interview. Starting out with Coach Font. You guys are 5-0, right? Good start so far. What do you think one of the keys to success has been for your team in able to go out there and, do what you got to do and pull out those wins?
Well, so far this season, we've been averaging about 41 points a game.
Oh, nice.
So offensively, we've done a very good job on third down, staying on the field, and then we've just been scoring a lot of points. From the first drive of the game to the last, it's been important to us to execute, and the kids have done a great job, especially on the offense. They've been doing everything we've been asking them to do. Most importantly, and I think that we've really realized it in the past 2 weeks, the way that we've been practicing has really changed over the past 2 weeks, and I think that's directly as a result of what happened with the Wilson game, and then hopefully what's going to happen this weekend coming up versus Aquinas.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Congrats. 41 points a game. Yep. Who's the offensive coordinator over there?
Well, I'm the co-coordinator. Me and Bobby Bates is our head coach, and he calls the plays. Him and I design the offense together, especially the passing offense, and we're lucky and blessed because you said we're at a Jesuit school, so we're blessed, and we're always going to talk about God, but we got a kid like Ben Beauchamp that's been very reliable in the passing game, and now he's starting to become a receiver who's effective in the run game as well, blocking and doing other things. So he's starting to learn that there's more to do than just run routes and catch the ball.
Good stuff. That's my type of receiver, Ben. I was a small guy, but I stick my nose in there and block for people and stuff. So good stuff. Good kudos to you, Ben. My first time having a chance to see you play. I'm impressed, man. You do it all. Like Coach just said, you do it all. You had a really good game against Wilson. You had some solid games before that. For yourself, what's your? I like to ask our athletes, one good question, one simple question. What's your, in a perfect game, not a perfect game, but in a realistic game, what's a really good game for you? Your stats. What are your stats? Catches, yards, touchdowns.
I don't know. I like, honestly, I like to win. Like, that's just how it is. Like, I honestly, I love having the ball in my hand, of course. I'm not going to say I don't, but I like winning. Like if I don't really care if I'm not getting the ball. If I got to make a block and that block's gonna score the winning touchdown, I mean that's just how it is. You know?
There you go. I like it. Perfect answer. That's the answer. That's the only answer, right? Good stuff. Now I just learned that this is you hadn't played football until you got to high school.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So you learned everything that you know about football since the 9th grade.
Correct. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. You can't tell. You can't tell. It looks like you've been doing this for a while.
Thank you.
So good stuff, man. That's a testament to your coaches being really good with you, patient, hopefully.
Oh yeah. Sure.
And then you being a fast learner, and playing the receiver position, it ain't easy. You got to learn everything on the field. You got to don't jump off sides, and then you got to catch the ball. Right. So good stuff. And of course we got my man Cordero Jackson coming in and taking over the DBs at McQuaid. The man, the myth, the legend. Hall of Famer, Youngstown State Hall of Fame. Congrats again on that, man.
Thanks.
That's huge. That's huge. What has it been like for you, man, jumping in there and first of all, I know you had to get in there and get the guys to trust that you knew what you were doing, and then getting them to buy into what you were teaching them. So how's it been, adjusting to? I know you coached in college, right?
Yeah.
Going from coaching college ball players to high school guys that are interested in going to play Fortnite after practice. It's a little different, right?
Yeah, you gotta take it all the way back to the basics.
Yeah.
First step, you can't just tell them like, read this and read that. And do this,
you can't assume that they know right there. Right.
You gotta take it all the way back. And they've been welcoming.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
Open arms right into their family. And Andre got me the job. I've been trying to get it for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And they finally let me. Finally let me in to do it.
Yeah. Now look what you're doing.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. All right. So I know the McQuaid tradition is huge. Yeah, everybody knows about McQuaid. Your sports programs are always solid. What's it mean for you, Ben, to be a part of that tradition? Going into high school and then adding to it. Winning some ball games. I know you're a soccer player as well.
Yeah.
And baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball is your thing, right?
Yeah, I play baseball for school and football for school, and then I just mess around and play CYO basketball in the winter. But
okay.
No, yeah, it's definitely. My dad went to McQuaid. Basically my whole dad's side of the family, all the guys obviously went to McQuaid.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, it's just hearing everything from him and just being part of the tradition. It just means everything. When you get to go out there on Friday nights and you got everybody out there, it's just something else,
Yeah.
Flip the switch, it's something else. Get your heart pumping.
Yeah. I've been on the other side of that tradition and having to go out there and play against you guys on Friday night. So I know how tough it can be to come out of that place with a win.
Yeah.
So kudos to you guys and keeping that tradition going and staying solid, as a program. Fine. Same question for you, Fine. How's it been for you? What's it like being a part of that, that rich McQuaid tradition?
It's been exciting. It's different because a school like McQuaid, you have so many more resources than you might get at other public schools. We have probably the nicest weight room that you're going to get in Section 5. At one of the nicer high school weight rooms you're going to get probably in New York State. We got an indoor facility, so if it's bad outside, we can go inside and practice indoors and don't have to worry about the elements. The way the kids are pushed academically is different. And then at the end of the day, it's so much tradition that it's a brotherhood. So you graduate from McQuaid, and then all of a sudden, 10, 15 years from now, or when you're in college and you're looking for that internship, and you find that McQuaid graduate somewhere throughout the country, that's when that brotherhood comes into effect. And for me as a football coach, it's been great, and I'm starting to learn more and more about all the tradition they have on the football field, but more about the tradition as well in other sports. Now we're being very successful, just like we always have in basketball. This year we went to the state championship. Baseball team's always been very successful. Even sports like lacrosse and hockey are starting to blow up at McQuaid. So it's been exciting.
Good. That's good. Good stuff, man. Moving right along, and we got Ben here. Your quarterback's well known. You guys got a few players that everybody knows about. Give me a couple names of players that don't get the glory that they deserve. Guys that are more behind the scenes. They do the dirty work, but they don't really get glorified.
Well, first and foremost, offensively, I'll speak on that. And I know you'll probably have a guy or two as well, but for me, it's all about the offensive line.
For sure.
And You know, even just reading different newspaper articles, they're talking about the best offensive lineman in the area.
Yeah.
Not one McQuaid kid is mentioned.
Wow.
And that's something that we talk about, you know,
Yeah.
and we want to gain respect from people. So the 5 or 6 guys that are getting in the rotation on the offensive line have really made a difference in the pass game and the run game. We're starting to run the ball very, very well. Starting to run some different concepts in the run game versus different fronts that we're starting to see. And the kids have adjusted well. So I think the unsung hero for offense, besides our obvious big playmakers, has been our offensive line. They've grinded, they've worked hard. They've probably put in more work in the offseason than any other position group that we have. So I'm excited to see how they're going to play, especially with the weather getting ready to change. So who knows if we're going to be throwing the ball 30 times a game. We're going to have to rely on those big hogs up front, and right now they're doing a good job.
Definitely, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. It makes it fun for them. You know what I mean? Yeah. When you can challenge them mentally, it makes the game that much more fun for the offensive line. A lot of people don't talk about that. You have to been through it to know what those guys go through.
And not only does it make it fun, it makes it easier on us.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's easier to make a call on 3rd and 2 when you know you got kids that you know are going to handle the job.
Yeah, Ben don't get off unless they
That's right.
do their job, right?
That's right.
Cordell, on the defensive side of the ball, who's the guy that you would mention and saying that he really, you know, he comes to practice every day, he does what he's supposed to do and has helped the team in different ways that they don't get recognized for?
Well, I love Timmy. Call him Jimmy. It's funny.
Jimmy.
It was a game, I think it was our first game of the season.
Yeah.
And he kept making plays. And I text him, I said, hey, who was the kid making all the plays? I think Timmy had a great game. And they're like, who's Timmy? You talking about Jimmy? So they was all playing a joke on me. And I'm like, yeah. So I asked Font about Jimmy. And he's like, who are you talking about? Next day in practice, his name is really Timmy. So now everybody calls him Jimmy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Jimmy. Our middle linebacker. Yeah, man.
That's how they.
He hits.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good
you
stuff.
hear it.
Good stuff. All right. And then your next contest, big one. We got a big one. We got McQuaid and Aquinas. When's that game?
Saturday, 3 o'clock at Aquinas.
At Aquinas, Saturday at 3 o'clock. Playmakers Podcast will be in the building. We wish you guys a ton of luck. Go out there and do your thing. Hopefully everybody comes out of the game healthy and we have a great game. But again, we appreciate you guys for stopping through the Playmakers Podcast. Cordero, my man, appreciate you. Ben, go out there, have a night, man. Font, it's always love, baby.
That's right.
Cute.
That's right.
But Playmakers Podcast, this is McQuaid, offensive coordinator. We got Ben, the wideout, number 9. You'll be hearing more about him.
Albany bound.
Albany bound. That's right. And then of course Cordero Jackson, the man, the myth, the legend, the Hall of Famer, right next to me. Playmakers Podcast. We working.
Welcome to Playmakers Podcast with your hosts Derek Dyer and Maurice Jackson. We're here with the Freddie June Jr.
Yes,
Freddie, thank you for making it.
Good. Yes, sir. Thanks for coming out, man.
So we did this Jackson 5 Playmakers of the Week, and Freddie was our first recipient. He also was our second recipient.
Yeah.
Freddie is, we started this and Freddie wins it the first week and the second week, first back-to-back winner. It's a pleasure watching him play. And we wanted to give him his exclusive interview today here on the Playmakers Podcast. So again, thank you for stopping in, Freddie.
Yeah. So we're gonna jump right into the interview. Let's get to know Freddie a little bit better. We've all seen you on the field, man. Electrifying.
Right.
Like watching the
Right.
game. So keep doing your thing. But football is the ultimate team sport. So my first question to you is, what's been one of the keys to success for you guys this year?
Our team grinds in practice. We take everything serious. We don't stop. We go 100% everything.
Yeah. So guys are locked into the goal. That's good stuff.
Right.
Good stuff.
Well, what I want to know is, you lost a big time player in drum goal. Megatron to Section 5, basically, right? And this year, it looks like no fall off. I see you playing with a different poise. What did you do, and how did your team rally after losing somebody like that?
We hate to lose a person like that. We got some new players, Patrick and Jaden. One's a wide receiver and the other is a running back. We we've been doing really good with them. They learned a new offense, and we got them to do good. Like.
And they got Freddie June.
Right. Definitely.
So they came in and filled the shoes as best they could, and you guys have been able to keep the ball rolling. That's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Now, jumping into getting to know you a little bit better. I know we've been talking a little bit behind the scenes, and Freddie's a Fortnite guy. Right. He's a Fortnite guy. So if Freddie don't have school tomorrow, so
Freddie up all night tonight.
Right. So other than football and outside of Fortnite, what does Freddie June like to do? What's some things that you like to get into? You play another sport?
Yeah, I play basketball.
Okay.
A lot of basketball. It's really just sports.
Yeah.
I'm always doing something with sports.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Play AAU. Yeah, play AAU.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have you, and I've told multiple people this, that I think you're one of the most electrifying players in Section 5. What you do, how you play the quarterback role. You're not just running, you're standing in the pocket. You're delivering the ball and you're running when you need to. But you're all about plays. And when we made Playmaker podcast, you kind of solidified a playmaker to us. You're more than just a quarterback. You're the ignition for your team. And I love watching you play. Want to talk a little bit about your senior year. Last year, tough Section 5 loss in the championship against Wilson. This year, you started 5-0. What do you think will get you over the hump this year?
We just keep grinding. We got to keep grinding. Everyone take everything serious. Everyone stay poised. Take a game one at a time, and just keep rolling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Absolutely.
Now, just to of course, we talk about football and the next level, right? Next level college. I know you see yourself playing some college football. You wanted to play further than high school. What's you don't have to mention any. What's a few schools that you would like to play for if you had a choice?
Boston College, Purdue,
Yeah.
Temple, UB.
Okay.
Yeah. Those.
Could you please just say Syracuse so he don't talk?
Syracuse.
Oh, I'm about it.
Because you mentioned UB, didn't say Syracuse. Gotta get it. Y'all didn't hear me say that. But so of course, in order to get to college, you gotta have the grades, right? What right now? What's your GPA around?
It's around 85, 90.
Oh, good. That's range. Awesome, man. And do you have a major in mind, or would you like to go on to college?
Definitely sports management.
Okay.
Definitely going to do sports management.
Got his mind made up. That's a good way to go in, man. Yeah. Good luck and all that. Sports management is, it's always a good way to go for an athlete. You get to learn the ins and outs of the game completely. Right. From being outside of the game. But good stuff.
I want to ask you. I talked to a parent that has a quarterback that's doing pretty good right now, right? I'm not going to mention any names, but he told me that every time this summer he drove by Western Irondeqouit, he looked on the field or he looked in the field house, he seen Freddie June in there working, sometimes by himself. And he said, a couple times he stopped and peeked his head in, take a little bit and showed his son to motivate his son, saying like, this man is working and he's a senior. And so I really want to talk about what you worked on this summer, knowing that you was losing a player like Drumgo, knowing that you was going to have to put the team on your back your senior year. What's the kind of things you worked on and where?
Definitely on the football field, the turf. My feet work. It was a big factor. Just stay poised, calm in the pocket, and I was just grinding.
So you basically you set yourself down and thought about what you had to do. You had to be able to sit in that pocket and deliver the ball. Get your team involved in the game because, as electrifying as you are, we all know you can't do it by yourself. Right. So good. So that was big when Derek said that. He mentioned that to us about that guy mentioning how he seen you working all the time. It was something that told me that this guy's serious. He wants it. He wants it. He wants it. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Now, a few players, from your team that don't get the recognition that you think that they deserve? Who would you mention on your team that, you know, puts in the work? And I know everybody works hard, but you know, those guys that do a little extra that should get some notoriety.
Got a wide receiver, Quinn Simonson.
Okay.
Got Pat, Jaden. My linemen, definitely.
Yeah. Yes.
Wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Got some few defensive players, cornerback Trey Brown.
Yeah.
Pat plays both sides of the ball, so that's really good.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, good, man. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And I can tell your teammates love playing with you, man.
Yeah.
Like I see the excitement on the field. I see, you know, when you score, it's not about you. I see you. First thing you do is you give them the ball up. You're hugging your teammates.
Right.
You know, you're congratulating the lineman. And that's how you breed a tradition. That's how you breed, you know, for your name to stay in around the corner. You know, from when you leave, from after you leave. I wanted to ask you, what was your transition like, losing that type of receiver? Because I know when you look in the pros and when you have somebody like a Calvin Johnson, or you have somebody as a big play receiver, quarterbacks often take chances with that receiver, right?
Yeah.
And then you see some quarterbacks lose that receiver, like a Matthew Stafford, and you see that quarterback get better, and you see that quarterback spread it out even more. I see that in you this year.
Yes.
I think your poise, your footwork, all of that has got better this year than from last year. I think last year, you gave Drumgo a lot of trust and you put it in the area for him to go get it. But this year, I see pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah.
So, talk to me a little bit about that transition. Just making sure that you're doing everything the right way.
First, I have trust in all my wide receivers. So I just get the ball if they're open. They get open, I pass it to them.
Right.
My feet work got really good. Staying in the pocket, running when I need to, and just things like that.
Right, just being a playmaker.
Just being a playmaker, man. I love it.
Playmaker.
So get the first down and get it.
There you go.
Right.
That's what it's about. So, hey, man, we really, really appreciate you coming out, man.
Oh, before we go, who's your favorite player
There we go.
in the NFL and why?
There we go.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay, Zeke.
He grinds. He really grinds.
Right.
He's humble. He eats.
Right.
He's just, I don't know. He's powerful.
You're a Cowboy fan.
I don't know about the.
Cowboy.
I don't know the last time I know a humble cowboy.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's a beast, and
Yeah,
his work ethic, he doesn't stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't take it away from him.
Yeah, I see some similarities in just working and grinding. So definitely, that's a good person to look up to because Zeke definitely grind.
And who do you see, yourself? What's a good example of a pro quarterback that you model yourself after?
Vic, cause athleticism,
Nice.
do it all.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
See, I like it. I like it. He took it back. He didn't name nobody. He said Michael Vick. I love that. That's a good comparison. That's top 5.
Yeah, it is.
That's definitely a top 5.
That works with Tyrod, and then
Got Cam.
Tyler was
Tyler, Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
Right. So now, definitely, we up there.
It works. So yeah, man. Hey, that's Freddie June Jr. Man,
Listen.
the first Jackson 5 Playmaker of the week.
The second
Jackson 5 Playmaker of the week. So you've earned yourself a full month of coming in here whenever you feel like it, training with me and getting after it some. And then of course, the door is always open at the MJ School for you.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody, you can catch Freddie June tomorrow night at Brighton at 7:30 under the lights. Freddie June and Irondeqouit takes on Brighton, so check him out. Playmaker Podcast.
I'll be there. We'll be there.
We'll be there.
Come
We'll
sit
be
with
there.
us.
Right.
Let's get some popcorn.
Right.
Watch
Right.
the show.
Friday night. All right, 7:30, Irondeqouit High School versus Brighton at Brighton High School. Freddie, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Keep doing
Thank
your
you.
thing. We're gonna
Yes,
keep
sir.
being
Yes,
fans.
sir.
Thank you for tuning in to the interview with Freddie June Jr. Freddie June Jr. Playmaker Podcast, baby, signing out.
We working. Welcome to the Playmakers Podcast. Of course, I'm Mo Jackson, and this is your Jackson 5 Playmakers of the Week. We're going to jump right into it. Coming in at number 5, my guy, Scotty Parr. Scotty had 9 catches for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also added a 2-point conversion But one of those touchdowns came in overtime to give his team the win. Greece Olympia, the win over Churchville Charlotte. Pay attention to Scotty. Scotty's climbing up those charts and catches. He's probably going to end his high school career with the receptions record. So, Scotty, keep working, my man. Wayne, out in Wayne, Billy Thompson carried the ball 19 times for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's making plays. Nick Romano from Hilton, 35 carries, 249 yards, and 4 scores. That's a playmaker if I ever seen one. Ray Leach. Ray Leach went out there and carried the ball all of 13 times for 280 yards and added 4 scores. That's a lot of yards in a little bit of carries. 13 carries for 280. Good job, Ray. And then last but not least, in a losing effort, I had to give it to him, man. I was there watching the game, man. Desi Floyd for Wilson carried the ball 30 times for 348 yards against McQuaid and added 2 touchdowns. Those numbers are crazy, but you had to see the way he did it, man. He was carrying people. He was running through people. He was yards after contact was impressive. So Desi, you're the Jackson 5 Playmaker of the Week. You're going to receive a couple weeks free of training here at the MJ School with myself. Of course, you're going to receive some nice MJ School gear along with some Playmakers podcast gear. Keep working, man. Keep carrying the ball like you are and making plays. That's your Jackson 5 Playmakers of the Week. MJ School. Playmakers podcast. We working.
Welcome back to the Playmakers Podcast. Our game of the week this week is McQuaid versus Aquinas at 3 p.m.
Yes, Saturday at 3 p.m.
Yeah, man. When you're talking about 2 good programs, 2 good establishments, 2 good quarterbacks, playmakers, right?
It's gonna be a shootout.
Right. Hunter versus Tyler.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna see you some yards.
Could be a long ball game too with all that passing, right?
Right. Both teams need this win.
Yes.
McQuaid just came off a big win against Wilson.
Yeah.
Aquinas just dropped a heart in the loss in overtime against the team from DC.
Yeah.
So this one's going to be a burner now, right?
It's going to mean a lot going into week before playoffs start.
Yep.
So they're going to be, both teams are going to be fighting for a win.
Yeah. It should be a great game. Another game to watch out for is UPrep versus Wilson at Auto Marina Stadium.
That's going to
at 1 p.m. That's at 1 p.m.
on Saturday, yeah.
Now that is an intriguing game, right?
Yeah.
Because all about Section 5 positioning right now, right? Wilson just coming off 2 losses.
They need to win.
Can't really afford a 3rd loss for positioning's sake, right? And UPrep's coming off a loss against East.
Yeah.
So
surprisingly, their first loss.
Right.
But
both teams kind of need this to position themselves the right way for Section 5 and to host a home game, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So
they're gonna be out there scrapping, man.
Man, that's gonna be a good game. UPrep has surprised a lot of teams this year. Their playmakers have stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the coaching staff. Kelly has done a great job. Gerald, that whole coaching staff over there. I'm looking forward to both of them.
Yeah,
games,
it's gonna be
man.
good. I'm gonna shoot to the Wilson game. I'm gonna be there to start the game.
Right.
And then after that game, I'm going.
Yeah, gotta see both those games. Gotta see both those games.
Should be good.
Right.
Yeah.
So check those games out. Like I said, UPrep versus Wilson at 1 p.m. and McQuaid versus Aquinas at 3 p.m.
Yep.
We have playmakers on both sides that's been here, right?
They are
all 4
living
teams.
up to the name. Yeah,
all 4 teams.
Playmakers.
Right.
Hey, the big news.
Yeah.
Playmakers Podcast, we are going to be taking the show onto the radio. So starting this month, October 25th, you can catch us on WXIR 100.9 at 8 p.m. on Thursdays at 8 p.m. WXIR 100.9. Tune in. You'll be able to listen to the Playmakers Podcast on Thursday evenings.
Yeah. We'll have some special things, some special guests, and some other things on the radio segment. So definitely.
And that's thanks to y'all. Thanks to y'all for
much.
viewing it. And they came to us and wanted to take our show onto the airwaves. So it's a good look for us.
Right.
We're moving.
Right,
We're working. So then again, another shout out to Custo Print
my man Cornell that handles our gear, of course. 1685 Dewey Avenue. For all your, shirt print needs, any clothing that you need printed on, he's the man to call. And of course, the turnaround is fast, so you don't have to wait too long. Again, Cornell Custom Print, 1685 Dewey Avenue. Appreciate you, my brother.
Appreciate you, Cornell. Thank you, bro. Yep. Hey, man, Playmakers Podcast, we on the move, we working, we expanding. We got some more news on the way in a couple weeks once we solidify some things, but big news on the way in a couple weeks. We gathering the resources and making sure that we give back to Section 5 and their players and West New York and their players. Thank you for all the players that's been on the show. Thank you for everybody that's reached out that wants to be on the show. Yes. We're still booking, weeks in advance. So thank you very much. We appreciate all the recognition and all the praise.
Keep making them plays.
Right,
we work it.
We work it. Playmakers Podcast. Sign out.
Thank you for listening to the Playmakers Podcast, and stay on the lookout for future episodes. And be sure to like and follow the Playmakers Podcast on Facebook. Brought to you by Fran82 Chai.